good service to go live, but I'm gonna give it a try. Give it a try. I had 166 subscribers, so I had one for every day of the year, including leap year. But a lot of chickens. It's time to eat a few of them. I like to have a lot of them for breeding purposes. I want my chicken flock to be like really inbred and everything. But I also got to think about food cost. I'm trying to get my food cost to zero, but it is not at zero. And what is it? 65 chickens. That's a force of when they get hungry. That's a lot of feed right there. Corn's gone up, grain's gone up so high. Let's see if I can flip this around. Right outside the porch steps. I gotta get I'm gonna build me a fence around the house. Keep the chickens from being, from shitting on the steps and stuff. Been working a lot on the island. The island, I've been growing rice on it. And rice likes that clay soil, but sugar cane doesn't. And I want to put some sugar cane on the island. And one cool thing about building the island from the ground up is I put whatever soil and whatever square foot of island wherever I want it at. So I'm able to make it like a really unique biome there. It's probably kind of boring. Might not be enough service to see the live. Kind of letting the subscribers down on the live. Haven't really made time to just go by the shop and catch Wi-Fi and go live. But I got a lot of lives to manage, so sometimes it's hard to go live. Gotta make sure all these animals and all these trees get watered and everything. Oh, yellow BB red rooster. He has moved down. I don't know what happened to him. He was at the top for a while, but now he's just lost his nerve. He runs from every fight. He's done back at the bottom of the pecking order as far as roosters go. These buffs have gotten pretty big. They'll get 8 to 10. Oh, I got some come 8 to 10. I do like baby goats. I want to get me some goats. I was about to jump into goats too soon. I wanted to get them, and I started thinking about it, and I need to build the infrastructure first. I need to build the fencing. I thought about tethering off a few goats here and there, but nah, I need to be one. If the goats get where I don't want the goats to be, there's $4,000 of fruit trees destroyed. Like, I'm sure the goats could just strip every leaf off of every single one of them trees in no time. But I really would like to turn weeds and briars into milk. You got meat, leather, hides, milk. I'd probably only use the goats for milk and brush control. But I'm saying, if it really come down to it, a goat to give you everything you need. You could build shelter from the hides. You could have clothes. You could have drink. You could have food. I'm living in South Georgia, in Wheeler County, Georgia. I'm in Alamo, Georgia right now. That's where I'm living. Zone 7B as far as planting and everything. We had a bad drought this April and didn't get hardly any rain. And they say that high pressure systems evaporated the rain before it hit the ground, but I'm going to tell you what my own eyes saw is out here, because I was working here on the land every day in April. And every time clouds would start to form, all these little planes would fly back and forth and spray, or maybe it's just, and the clouds would be gone every single time. I don't know. It sounds kind of crazy, and I don't know why somebody would just try to dry it up. But I mean, this seems like it might have just been a coincidence, but it happened every single time. There's all them baby cheeks. I guess I got better service today than most days for live. It's all staticky and hardly anybody can see anything. See, these little Bantam chicks are starting to grow up. It's just only like a 2-pound bird, you know. So when the Bantam's grown up, like the buff will get 8 to 10 pounds. So some of these smaller chickens are older than these bigger chickens. I do have wild boar do live around here. And they used to come out into the swamp on my property, but they just don't anymore. I see deer tracks now. I don't really ever see any hog tracks. I know the guy that owns the property across the road from me, he hunts hogs. And I think he's like, I sound like I'm Texas. I was in Texas for 3 years. My dad was in the Air Force. And I think like 8, 9, 10, 11, I was in Texas, something like that. But I've mostly been in Georgia. I don't know if I get up and walk across the yard if I lose service or get service. I guess I was thinking about showing the compost pile, but I guess that's kind of boring. And I'm not about to turn it. It's not time to turn it. Everything here has gotten kind of wild. I've cut down some of the bigger ragweeds, but I just haven't really cared because the chickens have been eating the ragweeds. But I'm about to till all that. I'm gonna move that cardboard. I got it killing the grass under there. But all this back here, all the way. Now that I got a well, it's easy to water this section out here. All this is gonna get tilled up, getting ready to plant greens and stuff. Basically, you know, behind the well, all that's fruit trees, and from the well to here, all the way across to the chicken pens out that way. I'm gonna put my fall and winter garden there. I'm gonna try to make we got a lot of alligators. We're not on the coast here where I'm at, so we don't get crocodiles, but we got a lot of alligators. I mean, the little creek that you cross the bridge going into Alamo is called Alligator Creek. I'm seeing if I missed it. No, I didn't miss anything in the comments. Yeah, I go hunting. I deer hunt. I eat the deer. I don't care nothing about trying to get the antlers. I mean, I'll save them, but I hunt for food. It's a lot of things in farming are getting to where there's not enough profit margin. I think it's by design. So really, if I was being smart about it, I wouldn't have increased my flock like I did and planned to hybridize these 4 different strains of chicken and all this other stuff. I'd keep a smaller flock and I wouldn't even have a food bill. Lord knows I ain't gonna need this many eggs, or I'll probably find enough people to buy them. And really, I like chicken more than I like eggs, but I like eggs. Where is he? Somewhere out here, I got a speckled Sussex rooster. I want to cross that speckled. There he is. There's a speckled Sussex rooster. I want to cross him with a buff when they grow up, and then just keep crossing that, you know, just make my F2 generation, and then just keep crossing them together and get some kind of, until I get those traits fixed and make some kind of new breed of chicken. And I got a few different roosters and all. But for practical, like there's a Plymouth Barred Rock. But the egg and the chicken ain't gonna taste much different based on the breed of chicken. I don't really need to be. Normally, I'd go ahead and start eating chickens. I'd eat chicken like in my 20s. I'd have ate this flock down to about 12 birds. Now I'm like getting older and I'm soft, and I like go ahead and too many chickens turn into pets. Too many of them have names. But it needs to be profitable. I don't need to just be spending $80 on grain all the time and not getting $80 of eggs. That ain't no good. Which most of them buffs are gonna start laying eggs like crazy. None of them are old enough to lay eggs yet. This compost pile has been this size 3 times. It keeps shrinking as it rots down. And I'm putting the rotted layers in between these other layers. But in this I got different layers. I haven't mixed it back up again. I was trying to see. Normally there's a lot of, but yeah, there's the bugs starting to be in there. Bugs. There's all kind of bugs down in that bottom layer. And sometimes I bring the chickens over here and let them get those bugs, but they don't really like being over here when I'm not over here. And it's been since last year, but a hawk did land up in that tree. And that might be why the chickens don't like being over here. I think I might have, I don't know, I might lose service when I get over here. Yeah, I got crows. And the crows and the purple martins will chase the hawks off for me. If a purple martin or a crow's ever out here and a hawk tries to get the chicken, the crows and the purple martins will run them off. I got a lot of these mosquito fish in here. And they're very easy to catch with a net because they like to be in the shallow water anyway. Let's see, I gotta zoom in or something. Gotta find them. Where are they at? There they are. They're little bitty O-fish that eats mosquito larvae. I give them the cowl. It's good if you got, like, this is just a water hole to water. Before I got my well, I'd collect this rainwater and water my fruit trees. And putting those in there, that keeps it from just being a breeding ground for mosquitoes. The mosquito fish eat it and they add fertilizer to the water that's watering the plants. They're good to have. Most fish, you change the pH or the temperature and they'll just die. They'll go into shock. But you could just dump these fish into dirty water, low oxygen water, green water, muddy water, alkaline to slightly acidic, and they just live. They just thrive. They just multiply really fast. And they're kind of like a guppy. I use a Mosin Nagant. Stolen from me. On Christmas, something I bought me a box. And if I go in the house, it's probably going to disconnect and I lose service. So I'll probably just keep the live going out here, and I go in the house and get the gun and bring it out. And then maybe the live stream won't end and I'll be able to show you this gun. But I use it because it's what I got, I'll be back in a second. I'm going to go get the gun. Oh, it says it can't put the phone up. I'll be back. I guess I'll turn it that way till I get back. I'll be back. A shout out to my crack-headed cousin Clifton. He stole the bayonet, so I don't have it no more. He actually stole a whole gun. I got it out of his room, though. And his mama, my Aunt Elaine, she's like, that's Clifton's gun. No, hell, it ain't Clifton's gun. Clifton is a felon and ain't even supposed to have guns because he got in trouble for stealing guns. But it shoots, what is it, 7.62, 5, something, 54? I forget what the hell. These Russian rounds have some other number on them. I don't know what. But it's about the size of a 30-30. It's a sharper bullet. It's got a copper jacket. And you can load it from the top or the bottom. That's true. Let me shake this firing pin. The firing pin right here. Let me show you. I guess I'll put them right there. You take it like that. You gotta kind of hold it together while you turn it. Well, there we go. You see the firing pin right there? It goes, this is the firing pin right there. It goes all the way down the length of you can adjust it. It's a little bit past there. But basically, this thing ain't gonna never wear out. And you can adjust how far in and out it goes. So if it does slightly dent over time, you can just keep adjusting it. This is a gun that will last hundreds of years if maintained. It's you see how that sight goes up? That's crazy. If you ever, I can't really show it to you, but if you hold it up to the light and you look down the barrel, the rifling in it is just amazing. It's just a really good rifle. Really good. But it's got these little bands where these wood parts can be replaced on it. But this one's from 1942. It was 1942, and it come out the case. When I got it, it had somebody's red hair stuck in it and stuff. The serial number on the bayonet was different than the gun, but it's a pretty good gun. It really is. Get out the house. I got a rooster named Toby Keith. There he is right there. See the other rooster is what's it called? The crop, not the wattle on the top of the head, the crest, whatever. The other one kind of folds over. Toby Keith doesn't. And this chicken has been on. This chicken ain't as flighty as the others because when he was a chick, we let him look at himself in the mirror and look at art and listen to music. And he come inside and got petted and everything. We knew who he was because he was the only rooster in that batch of them. And the other rooster's scared of me, but this one ain't because he got handled when he was a chick more. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about Toby Keith. I started letting him come in the house and eat food. The other ones were afraid to do it. But that was a mistake because then Toby Keith started leading all the chickens in the house. And we can't have that. That's just because, you get 100 well, it's not 100 chickens, but let's just say 22 chickens run up in your house and half of them take a shit. That's way too much. Any of it is, so they can't really be in the house. question to answer. I'm gonna walk over to the island, but I ain't going through the woods to do it. I'm gonna just walk by the state highway and then cut through my woods. And maybe I'll keep service if I go this way. That I've been calling it a gray crane or something like that. Wade told me it's a green heron. I think that, or did he say a green egret? He said something. It doesn't look green to me. That's let's see. The neighbor's got a pretty pond. I wish I could dam that up. I can't though, you know. That little surveyor pole right there. There's another pole on the other side to the tree line and then one all the way across on the dirt road. That's that's my border right there. That's where my property ends. And then the other boundaries are the two roads. What is it, Duke? What? Leave all that alone. Just I don't want to get into too much. It's where I come over here on the island one day and turned around and a snake was blocking my path back on the bridge. So, some new changes to the island. I thinned the peas out just because I wanted more room to stand. And that black willow is doing really good. I want a few trees on this island to just kind of anchor it. It's a weird feeling to walk on this island because it's like a bunch of branches. Some places are all the way to the bottom, clay, all the way to the top soil. And some places is like layers of vegetation and dirt. And some is pallets with dirt piled onto it till they sink in the muck. And so some of it feels like being on a boat and some of it feels like being on land. Like some of it has give and tries to kind of float a little bit. It seems pretty solid today. I guess because the water levels dropped so much. But I want to get enough weight onto it that when the water level rises, it don't float and pull apart and start to put bricks and stones and stuff. That's the deepest point. From when everything flooded or from years before, who knows, because crawdad, the eggs can lay dormant for a long time, but there's crawdad in here and bullfrogs. And the biggest turtle is in this smallest pond, not in the big pond over there, but sometimes on the shore here. It is a gigantic alligator snapping turtle. Now that part right there, I dug out like a deep tub when I was mining clay. And there's like 3 places like that never dry up. But water sometimes, water floods to where you see the trees. It's this pond right here. It's always rising up high and dropping low. See, the rice ain't even in water over there no more. This rice here is doing really good. I water it a lot, but I I think the water is more for weed control and kind of a fertilizer, depending on how they're managing their paddies. But I think rice grows better on land than in water, as long as it's got water. I don't know what kind of grass that is, but I love it. And I like this swamp grass, and I'm in the cattails on the other side. But this grass right here is dangerous. If you grab this grass right here and you yank it with your hand, you might gather a whole bunch of it and it'd be fine. But it might split a kind of way and be sharp and cut you right to the bone. Just slice right. It could slice you up. It's crazy how deep and how fast that grass can cut you. But that grass is very good grass for making rope out of. And it's good. You mix it with clay, it's easy to form it into things, and it dries real tight and strong. It's the clay. There's a bunch of bog soil up of all this, all these trees, hardwoods, and pines. All that's fallen down into this place and rotted. With what is it? Not, what is it, aerobic or anaerobic? Which one is the one without oxygen? It's just rotted slowly, stacking in pressure without much oxygen under the water for who knows how long. And then when you get up under it, and it's full of earthworms. They're a little earthworm, but that black soil like that, it's just full of earthworms. And then the clay up under it is marbled, and it's a mixture of orange and gray and yellow. But and it's got some grit in it, and I don't know what the grit is. It's very shiny. It looks metallic. It's like silver dust or mica dust. It don't really flake like mica. I don't know what it is. It might be aluminum. I don't know what it is. It looks like a metal glitter. It's just all in this clay. I don't know what it is. But it makes good pottery. You don't really have to do anything to it hardly. I gotta dig that out, or it won't officially be an island. It's starting to get kind of. I don't know why I got such good service today, which I might think that. I might go back and watch the live, and it's a little bitty frog. I thought it was a wolf spider at first. Oh, where'd he go? I'm too zoomed in. Here he is. Tiny little frog. There's a bunch of tiny little frogs this time of year. That's a toad. Just a regular toad. I had 3 little baby. Oh, there went another one, but I didn't get it on camera time. I had 3 little toads that I got from Georgia that I brought to Texas when we moved to Texas. I had them in an aquarium, and I'd catch spiders. And San Antonio on the Air Force Base, on the house, there's brick houses. And there wasn't no bugs in the yard. It wasn't like Georgia. It wasn't green. It was like dust and dead grass and a pomegranate bush here, a palm tree there every now and then. But pretty much only in the shade on the edges of houses was the only place I found bugs. And I used up a lot of crickets and then the roly-polies, and then I just started catching spiders. And they never bit me, so then I started picking up all kind of spiders with my hands, and it just turns out that they hardly ever will bite, ever. A lot of it depends on like bees, if you're calm, they're calm. If your heart starts racing, they're gonna probably sting you. If you're calm, or if you're on psychedelics, they won't harm you. They just won't. I don't know. There's a whole bunch. See, this is another problem. Somebody said something about the goats. Is at this end of the property, there's a lot of milkweed, which, monarch butterflies, they come through here and they need that milkweed. And so I don't want to get rid of it. So I couldn't let my goats be here because that's toxic to goats. I don't know how toxic it is to goats. But they don't want to be in this wet place anyway. They'd probably be in the high area of the property, and the woods on the other side is probably where I'd put goats. It would be nice if a goat has sense to just come through here and not eat the stuff that'll kill it. Oh, I got a fig. Most of my fig trees died, but the one I planted in the woods is still, it's doing good. And it got plenty of water being where I put it. There's a fig tree. Really, I like what I've been doing. And oh, yeah, that deep. I forgot I had dug that. All the plants are covering up that trench. That's a lot deeper than I thought. That's as deep as my leg is long right there. I put a check dam here. The hardware store, they accidentally had it for $6 instead of $9. And they had to change the sign, and they asked me how many bags I was gonna get. And I just said I'd just get one. I kind of should have got a bunch of them, I guess, at the discount price, but at the same time, I didn't want to do them like that. So now maybe the next time this fills up, maybe it'll drain slower at this point, and maybe I can keep mosquito fishing this part. We'll just have to see. It just got real windy. I want to get away from that corner of the woods. That corner of the woods out there, there's a lot of trees still damaged from Helene that'll sometimes just fall down, and I ain't gonna be there when it happens. Got a pawpaw tree up here. I also got a mess here to clean up. There's a pawpaw tree. Duke ate at least $15 of pawpaw seeds. I don't know why he did it. I left the room and he just ate them. And it's too late to plant them now. I had to wait a whole year because that dog that eats all the time decided he wanted to eat some pawpaw seeds for whatever reason. The elephant, I put it there. I also put another check dam here. So it's got to get that high before it flows out. So it's slower. I like to hear it and everything. I don't want to walk under that right now. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just go ahead and get out of there. It's just weird. Everything was so dry, and then we got that rain, and the water level got so high just to come back down so fast. It's going into the air because the air's so dry. The water's still past the marker, though. But the shells are back on land. The lizards are about to be back on land. That's how I know when that dam's gonna leak on that side. I got a lot to catch up on maintenance wise. I've been expanding, and I need to go back and maintain the stuff I've already done. Got a bunch of coffee plants. I'm gonna take this pond liner out and just let this be a place that recharges the aquifer. I'm gonna put that pond liner on the bottom of the hill to the right of the driveway, catch water there so that it'll be easy to, really that whole plan was so I could extend my garden all the way out that far. But I think it's just, the wind blew the door shut, Duke. This winter squash is doing good. The chickens were eating it, and I told them to quit doing it a few times, and they quit for a little while, and it just exploded in growth, and now they're back to eating on it a little bit, but it'll probably be okay. It gives them cover for hawks. I ain't too worried about it. I do need to get all this. Then I want a fire break around the whole house. But I'm too tired and hurting after work to do it today. But I walk around and plan things. Also, now that I got water, collecting rainwater out the windows, all that's pointless. All them pallets need to come away from the house. There's no point of it being there anymore. It's probably kill the grass up under it and make it easier to do the fire break around the house. I wish I had more pavers. I might make some. I keep seeing deer here, like right out in front of the bee boxes. They're probably eating I don't know what they're eating. The corn's been harvested. I know they're not eating onions. They're probably just eating the grass seed off the top of this. Cutting out trees in this section. A lot of this was very young pine trees, keeping them along the road. All that old stuff, I'm getting it thrown away. To burn it or something, turn it into charcoal. I just had, I need to sharpen my chainsaw chain. I'm saving up money because what I need is employees. I can't do it all. I got a boy, well, he's like, I don't know, he's probably 18 by now. He said he'll come work for me. All these rotten boards I laid out in these lines because it's going to kill the grass under them, and I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to have a trench where I can plant, and then I'll just mulch the sides. And probably all this rocky soil. They used to have a shop here and everything. It'd probably be good for lavender. And maybe some olive trees. Maybe add some more olive trees. Just making sure the wind. I might need to put a brick on top of that. Or something a little heavier than. Because it's getting pretty windy. Well, first let me make sure I ain't got no ants in this board. Oh. Yeah, it's good. I need to put them in a 10 frame. Not today. Never on a day like this. Bees get in a bad mood in weather like this. Plus, I don't think it's really that they're in a bad mood so much as none of them are foraging and the hive's so crowded that you're more likely to accidentally kill one and then they're in a bad mood. But maybe they do seem a little more. Oh, I got to go.